Today, we are going to explore Iceland's approach to sexual life. Located in northwestern Europe between Greenland and Norway, this small country is known for its liberal culture, especially when it comes to intimate relationships. Subscribe to our channel and leave a like. In Iceland, nudism is highly appreciated, which may surprise individuals from other nations and cultures. Icelanders find it curious that people from other nationalities are so shy about showing their nudity and engaging in casual sexual relationships. In Icelandic culture, it is considered normal and accepted for men and women to openly discuss their sexuality. Relationships and nudity are discussed without any kind of embarrassment, allowing for frank and uninhibited expression. Iceland is widely recognized as a fascinating destination, where one can explore impressive and unique landscapes filled with volcanoes, glaciers, and a variety of natural wildlife such as horses and sheep, which are truly cherished by the locals. Undoubtedly, this country ranks among the most beautiful and stunning in the world. A notable example of its natural beauty is the Skogafoss waterfall, which stands out for its grandeur and charm. Surrounded by lush green meadows in the summer and covered in snow in the winter, it stretches 25 meters wide and reaches an impressive height of 60 meters. There is a legend that surrounds this waterfall, telling the story that the region's first Vikings hid treasures in caves beneath its waters. Additionally, Icelandic culture has a very relaxed view on romantic relationships. Having a fun night with a man or a woman is considered perfectly normal for Icelanders. The courtship game between men and women is something peculiar that only an Icelander can understand. Both men and women in Iceland are extremely liberal when it comes to these matters. There is no need to go through a series of dates before engaging sexually. In some cases, it is even seen as favorable for it to be one of the first things to happen, allowing the couple to assess their chemistry. In Iceland, women are highly empowered and take the lead in various areas. It is common to witness women holding prominent positions in family businesses while their husbands play secondary roles. In the workplace, they can have a similar status or even be the ones with the highest level of responsibility. In Iceland, women are in charge. Unlike many countries around the world, where it is expected for men to take the lead and women are rarely seen in leadership positions, the situation in Iceland is completely different. Women take an active role in running family businesses, while their husbands take on lesser roles. Furthermore, in professional environments, they can enjoy a similar status or even occupy positions of greater responsibility. Nordic culture, including Iceland, has historical explanations for sexual freedom that date back to the country's earliest inhabitants, the Vikings. The Vikings had an open stance towards sexuality, which included the practice of premarital relationships and granted women the power to decide on marriage and divorce. These cultural characteristics, which are still found in Iceland and other Nordic countries, have their roots in the historical beliefs and practices of the Vikings. Viking culture had an uninhibited view of sex, and premarital relationships were common. Viking women were allowed to conduct a test to assess sexual compatibility with their future husband. If the man failed this test, the woman had the right to choose not to marry him. Furthermore, Viking women could marry from the age of 15, often to considerably older men. While families may have been involved in the decision of marriages, women always had the final say. Nordic culture, including Iceland, has a history that encompasses rights related to divorce and land inheritance for women. In the early days of the Viking Age, extramarital relationships were allowed, but later on, they became punishable crimes, resulting in death for both the involved parties and their lovers. Sexuality is often mentioned in Icelandic sagas, which describe the settlements in Iceland in the 10th and 11th centuries. In 1707, smallpox had a devastating impact on the Icelandic population, resulting in the death of approximately 12,000 people, about a quarter of the population at the time. During that time, Iceland was part of the Kingdom of Denmark, and the Danish king mandated that all Icelandic women, whether married or not, should have 6 children. While it may seem unfair, violent, or shameful by today's standards, in times of crisis, this measure was deemed necessary to ensure the survival of the Icelandic people. Currently, the concept of traditional dating can be uncomfortable for Icelanders. What pleases Icelanders the most is meeting men or women at parties, bars, or through dating apps, and then deciding whether they want to continue a relationship after meeting at one of their homes. An indication of equal rights and women's independence in Iceland is the position they hold in universities and parliament. In higher education institutions, there are approximately 2 female students for every male student, while in parliament, about 50% of the representatives are women. When it comes to beliefs, Icelanders do not believe that only men have sexual desire. It is considered acceptable and normal for women to have sexual desires and to be able to express them confidently. In Iceland, women do not hesitate to express their sexual intentions. In fact, it's quite the opposite. A woman who openly expresses herself is seen as strong, capable, and happy with herself. Icelanders don't idealize romantic love and don't practice it as much. The cold winter climate is not as extreme as in other countries. However, severe storms with strong winds and snowstorms are also common. In 934, shortly after the first settlements, one of the largest volcanic eruptions in Iceland's history occurred. The Elja volcano released lava and gases that reached Europe and even reached China. About 70% of children in Iceland are born to single parents, separated families, or divorced couples. It is considered normal to have lunch, meet, and stay in contact with ex-spouses or current partners. There is no clear notion of completely severed relationships. Another cultural aspect that may surprise you is the attitude towards nudity in Iceland. Taking a naked bath is not seen as a sexual experience. It is something that can be done in safe and secluded hot springs where there are no other people around. Even if an Icelander happens to pass by, it is unlikely to be considered scandalous. It is a way to connect with nature and embrace the human essence. Iceland is known for its hot springs, found throughout the country, offering ideal temperatures for relaxing baths. However, it is important to check the water temperature before entering, as some hot springs can have high temperatures. One of the most famous and memorable places to visit in Iceland is the Blue Lagoon. The Blue Lagoon is a spa with a heated artificial lagoon open year-round, allowing you to enjoy a warm and relaxing bath even when the external weather is quite cold. It's worth noting that in spas and public pools, it is common to encounter nudity, as it is naturally accepted in these places. An interesting curiosity about Iceland is that due to its relatively small population, there is a system in place to check if 2 people with similar backgrounds are interested in having children or falling in love. This demonstrates the concern for maintaining a united community and preserving the cultural traditions of the country. In Iceland, measures are taken to prevent issues related to genetic diseases in children in the future. People often get to know each other through dating apps or social media, establishing virtual conversations before meeting in person. It is also common to meet in bars, at work, at the gym, or at university. Iceland is recognized as one of the best places in the world for women. Around 90% of women work and also play active roles in the country's politics. Iceland's first democratically elected female president, Vigdis Finnbogadóttir, held office from 1980 to 1996. While Iceland has a positive attitude towards sex and nudity, Icelanders do not want the country to be seen solely as a place for seeking sexual pleasure. Additionally, it is not recommended to solely focus on that perspective when visiting the country. It is preferable to first explore the natural wonders that Iceland offers. If you find this view on personal relationships more positive, or if you prefer your own view of the country, please share in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as all videos are free. Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you again in the next video.